And today's location, and a very, very beautiful one too, one of the most beautiful locations I've visited since I started the page, is West Wycombe Park. Here we see it in 1754. West Wycombe Park is a country house built between 1740 and 1800 near the village of West Wycombe in Buckinghamshire, England. It was conceived as the pleasure palace for the 18th century libertine and dilettante Sir Francis Dashwood, 2nd Baronet. Here he is himself. And here is a lovely painting of Sir Francis and Lady Dashwood at West Wycombe Park, painted in 1776, with the newly completed house behind the couple. The gardens at West Wycombe Park are among the finest and most idiosyncratic 18th century gardens surviving in England. The park is unique in its consistent use of classical architecture from both Greece and Italy. The principal architect of the gardens was Nicholas Revet, who designed many of the ornamental buildings in the park. Here we see him here. The landscape architect was Thomas Cook. I can find no online images of him, who began to execute the plans for the park with a 9-acre man-made lake created from the nearby River Wye in the form of a swan. The lake originally had a sailing vessel for the amusement of the Dashwoods' guests, complete with resident captain on board. Water leaves the lake down a cascade and into a canal pond. Now, the house, when you check it online, it says strictly no photography. This is from the house's own website, so photo credit to West Wycombe Estates for these, and shows the interior. Now let's begin our tour, shall we? And I hope you're all going to enjoy this one as much as I did. And here we are, West Wycombe Park. One I've been looking forward to. I need to find out where you pay, which I think that's over here. Excellent. I shall just pause you for a minute. Sorry, wrong way around. And we are in, and I am allowed to photograph as we go around. Look at that, look. This was probably going to be a several-parter, this one. Flash off, don't need that now. Is that Britannia? It's got a trident. Looks fairly warrior-esque. I do have a map as well. Some lovely horses, look. Hello. Hello. You okay? Oh. And in the words of the posh lady from Diary of a Provincial Lady, once again, ah, country life, pure hardy. This is quite a big place, this. And it closes at 5, so I shall have to keep my eye on the time. Hello. Hello. Hello, beautiful. Yeah. I know there's flies around, isn't there, eh, dudes? Oh, girls, sorry. Alright. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Oh, that was enjoyable, I must say. Enjoyed that. I'm going to pause you a sec while I check my map. And here we are. The home of Sir Francis Dashwood and where he died. In our ghost evenings and the run up to it, there is a run up to that where I introduce you to the people and the ghosts. Paul Whitehead, friend of Sir Francis Dashwood, asked for his heart to be taken out, put in an urn and put in the Dashwood Mausoleum. Left £50 to do so. Sir Francis respected that, and a nighttime procession from here went from this place up the Great Wycombe, West Wycombe Hill to the mausoleum. You'll hear more about that in the run up to our ghosts. We have a little temple and a font over here, which it looks as though it's been used as a car charging area now. I'm sorry if the sun is perplexing us a wee bit. Now that very likely came from the old church. Birds have been nested in there. Just taking some pictures as we go along. See the old iron boot scrapes there, and why London Luke leads you under here is for you to look up there. Mr. Borgin's work. He painted the paintings up in the church on West Wycombe Hill. There was a medieval church there that was taken down and replaced in the time of Sir Francis at his own cost and behest. Very talented man, eh? I had to look before I started lowering us, because Facebook and YouTube have got so tetchy now. They're like a middle-aged woman that's losing her beauty. Everything is offensive now. Everything. God save us from the day when breathing the air becomes offensive, because I reckon we're getting there. Oh look. Oh, that's lovely. That looks like our dog Bonnie when she was young. A little bit. Where the staff and that would have lived years ago. Even the floor's beautiful, look. Glad the clouds come out a little bit now. It helps us. Thing is with exterior stuff, if it's too sunny, it kind of messes things up a little bit, which isn't very nice, or kind, or Christian, or even convenient. And where we are going to go is down there in a moment, once we've had a look. The house is open from June to July, inside. Strictly no photography or videography of the house at all, because the family still lives here, so you have to respect that. I hear tell they had some nasty incidences in the 70s So they're obviously very security conscious, which you can't blame them for. I can hear dogs barking. I wonder if they're your, like, can't say too much because I was asked not to, but the other people like that live here, I wonder if some of them are like your archetypical posh people. And you're like, what a old boy, ha ha ha, just taking a stroll with the dogs. You know, that kind. All I can say is I have met one of the family members. And now I'll take you down here to this little bridge that crosses us Orvet River. Look, Dashwoods could see their home from where they're buried, or can see their home from where they're buried if you believe in the paranormal. This holiday for me was a complete out there one. Don't normally go anywhere other than Rye. Fancied something different. Came here on a day trip with my nephew and niece-in-law and thoroughly enjoyed it. So here we are. Gosh, isn't this gorgeous? And that's the plane I saw when I was last here. It is not a Spitfire. Basically just a private little plane of someone's. I have no idea what model or whatnot it is, so don't ask. Ooh, now I'm tempted. Which bridge do we go over? Do we go over? Well, we could do both, couldn't we? I believe this building here you can only get over to by boat. What dark foibles and fancies went on there? Oh. Someone's let their dog shit all over the place. So, yo, lad, dog's crapped all over the carpet. That is beautiful. Look what we're going to walk over now. A little babbling brook. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is just... That's perfect. Everything down... It's perfect, everything down to the last detail. I can smell fire. Oh. I will warn you, if you come to this area, if you're prone to being bitten by gnats, do prepare yourselves. I have been bitten to absolute shreds by them. We'll stand a moment and listen to this lovely flowing water. Flint and ragstone that this little bridge is made from. Those landscape architects, and obviously the family as well, who would have yayed or nayed or maybe even thought up some of these ideas themselves. Goodness. Goodness gracious me. It's a very big estate, this one, and it actually, parts of it actually skirt, its walls skirt the Georgian dragon, which you, I don't know if you've seen it yet, depends on what order I put them in, because I'm doing them in a specific order. Now this is the way we came from, along there, up the Great Drive, and to the house, the way the family would have come. Dashwoods are an interesting bunch. Slightly odd, but interesting notwithstanding. Now, this is where I'm going to pause you for a moment, because I'm going to sit here and enjoy this view and smoke a nice soothing cigarette, as Noel Coward would have said. See y'all in a minute, y'all. And onward we do go. Well, for the £10 it costs to get in here, which maintains the house and grounds, because when you look at a place like this, West Wycombe Park, you think of a family with inordinate amounts of money, but quite a lot of the aristocracy were basically wounded to death by inheritance tax and things like that, so they're not as wealthy as you may think, some of them. Hiya. Hiya. Right. Alright. Well, this is beautiful. This really is lovely. I had to point you towards the lake that way a minute because I have just walked past one of the current incumbents of the house. This is the Temple of Diana. I just thought, no, sorry, I'm going to say it. That clapping noise is not the noise of the current incumbent and his lady friend engaging in clap clap kind of activities. It was a swan. Alright, it was a swan. So there. And this was one of the main features that I wanted to see, that I was told to come and look at. The grotto. It's the temple of Venus, I beg your pardon, not Diana. Oh, it's an absolute colony of gnats. Here we are, underneath the temple of Venus. The family would host little parties and soirees and other such licentious activities in places like this. Turn my flash off because it uses up too much battery. I know I sound like Mrs. Richards from 40 Towers, who doesn't use a hearing aid because it uses up the batteries. Even though I'm plugged into a power bank. Well, this will definitely be a part 1 and part 2. And this is such a massive estate that we only really encompass just a small part of it on our tour here today. But my favourite parts. The ghost of Lord Dashwood, Francis Dashwood, Paul Whitehead and other members of the family and of course the Hellfire Club have been seen along here. We go this way, over our next bridge and towards here. That's as much as you're getting. That is one of the current family members. Ooh, I nearly fell over. He nearly fell. Over there, if I'm right, I could be wrong. And sometimes, you know. No, I'm not. I'm not wrong. Just over there, through those trees, is the George and Dragon. And when we go into the pub beer garden, the flowing water noise that I thought, I wonder what that is. It's this. Why, in all my years of never having been a magistrate, have I ever seen anything so charming? Very clean water as well, by the looks of it. Apparently one of the features of this phone is that it is waterproof and that you can put it underwater and get some pretty amazing shots. I just haven't got the courage to do it. I just haven't. Call me a coward if you want, call me mean. I just think of the expense that this beloved phone has cost me, because I couldn't buy it outright when they first came out. It's a contract jobby. They're a lot cheaper now though. Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra is the phone for anyone that, because I have had a few people ask about my moonscape and astronomy type pictures, and it does take very, very good pictures of the moon. You have to zoom right in all the way. I would recommend a tripod unless you've got extremely steady hands. It's not even 3 o'clock yet, that's alright. It's from where we've come, over that bridge. This is to show you and to remind myself if I get lost as well. I hate being lost, absolutely detest it. It brings out the very tetchy, grouchy nature of me being lost. Because there was a Sir Francis Dashwood before our main man that I'm talking about, the Hellfire Club man, and he did a lot of good works in the local area, starting the West Wycombe road. Sir Francis carried on those works, which encompassed the digging out of the Hellfire caves, the rebuilding of St Lawrence Church at his own expense, which was incredibly expensive, although he was an incredibly wealthy man. I hope that you enjoyed the little starter to this one. The pictures of Lord and Lady Dashwood in the park. That's a nice little hark back, isn't it? Ah, luxury. Oh, young lady's dancing. Fair enough. Oh, bumblebee, look. I nearly trod on it. Is it dead? Ah, it's dead. Oh, that's a shame. I know they terrify the life out of me, but we need them. I've got a lot better with them, actually. If that was some years ago, I would have just probably ended up in the lake or running over that way. I almost threw myself over the edge of the 199 steps in Whitby trying to escape from a bee. Not that it did me any good. Teacher grabbed me, bee stung me on the nose. And for several years afterwards, and my mum can confirm me in this, I had a boil come up on the same place on my nose, which was an intolerable intrusion upon a gentleman's privacy. Right, you're now going to join me for part 2, ladies and gentlemen. I will do it in parts, even for YouTube, because it'll be a bit too long otherwise. So join me for that. Hello. Bonjour, guten Tag, Shalom Aleichem. And what have we over here? So this is what I like about this place. There's all these little tucked away places. But look at the vastness of the estate. It just sweeps on for miles and miles and miles. Whatever it is, or whatever we are at, it's very near to a road, I think. Although you do have the groundsman and the gamekeeper who patrol these grounds regularly, day and night. As you can see. Oh look, looking straight down the high street through there. Sir Francis, being Sir Francis Dashwood, being a great lord as he was often seen in the local taverns, particularly the Plough, because there was a route that led from the Plough out onto the cliffs where he could make his way to the Hellfire Caves. Daphine's Temple, this is.
Ooh, ankle went then. Yeah, we're right by the main road. Daffin Dictatum. Nympha probata. Sinceramain. Nympharamain. I have no idea what that means. I think nympha is probably nymph, but that's just an uneducated person's guess. Can you imagine in the 17th century, without all the noise of the road and a lot of the things of modern life, being a rich man, coming here with your friends, sitting drinking wine and eating fruit and looking out onto this? I could fancy myself one of the men that looked after these grounds, and I would die a happy man if that was the case. The current member of the family that I spoke to, where I'm staying, he does pop in occasionally. Very, very nice man, very down to earth. Yeah. Even in its day though, it would have been a busy road, the high street where I'm staying, because it was along the Great Oxford to London Road. So they have hunting dogs on this estate. You're embarking at night time. Fella that looks after him, he drinks in the plough. That building over there actually does look as if it's separated from this estate. Oh, it's one of the lodge houses. It's one of the gate houses. Fair enough. And you hear the sheep at night time as well. They're near enough to the back of the Georgian Dragon to be heard for the noise to carry. Now I'm pointing you this way particularly because you can only reach this spot by boat. This is the Temple of Venus and what's known as the Summer Parlour. The family would have themselves rowed over here. And basically enjoy themselves. Just take a picture of that a minute. This over here, this ditch, is called a ha-ha. stops the livestock from getting into the grounds. Yeah, that's where the burning smell's coming from, over there. And if you hear any bangs, it is shotguns. So. Will have to clean my shoes before I go back into the Georgian Dragon, because it is absolutely full of rabbit dung here. Full of it. That looks like sheep. They probably let the sheep in to nibble the grass. It's the Temple of Diana and the parlour, or summer parlour, only accessible by boat on its little island. Seem to be very fond of their secrecy, did the Dashwoods. There's a man fishing over there. Oh no! Yeah, just driving it. You know, I'm amazed how quick it is to walk the grounds. I managed to get quite a lot done today. This what we're walking over here is called the Cascade. I need not elaborate too much as to why it is called that. I'll show you this one on this side because there's people sitting on the bench on the other side, and you know I never show people without their consent. Deals with all the runoff and overflow from the lake here. Look how clear and clean the water is, look. Look, there's the mechanism there for closing one of the weirs. And don't you be saying I don't never take you nowhere, as someone from Victorian Cockney East End would say. Well, I may have been turned into the Nat version of a Dracula victim, but it's been worth it. And look at that secluded little idyll. Oh, you can smell the honey, like honeysuckle type smell coming off of this tree. It's a blossom tree of some kind. It smells absolutely gorgeous. Very, very nice. Little old boathouse over there, look. Stunning. I don't sling words like that around very often, or all too often. Over there is another church. No, it's a house. I thought it was a church. The buildings are so decorative. Yeah, they really are lovely. And this is what I wanted to take us up to next. Another one of the main features. Oh, that's manure there burning. Gosh, that smells dreadful. Look at this. Now this part, I was told, is where Lord Dashwood's ghost and Paul Whitehead's ghost have been seen the most. And with a woman dressed all in black from head to foot. Now that may fit the story of what some of those Hellfire Cave members got up to, because they used to have prostitutes come to them that would dress as nuns as a disguise. So maybe they're still enjoying themselves even beyond death, who knows. This is literally just a stone's throw away from where I'm staying, so, and because of course the Dashwood connection, I couldn't skip this one off. We have literally walked in Lord Dashwood's shoes, in his footsteps, not in his shoes, in his footsteps. This way takes you around the back of the house. Whew. Now that's a proper country smell, that. Doesn't bother me. Walk past one of the bins in Whitechapel and you will smell far, far worse than that. So you've seen the George, you've heard about Suki, you've seen this place, you've met the ghosts, or heard about them. We're hoping to meet them when we do the paranormal thing. Oh. Wondered what drew me over here. The cannons. Whew, these cannons originated from 60-ton galleon kept by Sir Francis II Baronet on his lake in the 1750s. They were relocated to their current position by Sir Edward Dashwood, 12th Baronet, in 2015, who also commissioned the wooden carriages in which they now sit. The larger one is a 4-pounder and the other a 2-pounder. Colourful reference was made to the galleon and carriage guns in the diary of Thomas Peel Brown, who visited West Wycombe in 1754. In ye Grand Canal are various vessels of which is a snow, a brethren, about 60 ton. It is completely rigid and arises several brass guns, which were taken out of the French privateer, and a sailor is constantly kept who lives aboard. This snow is kept to keep it who lives aboard the snow to keep it in proper order. We all went on board it, and there is a neat, pretty cabin, a forecastle, a cookroom, both underdecks and outside is neatly painted, and everything in misallure and quite pretty order as well, worth seeing. There is also another 2-mast vessel, a little in the Venetian manner, also a 1-mast vessel like a slop, and also a barge, which little fleet makes a beautiful appearance. There are also swans on ye canal to add to ye beauty. We were told by ye sailor at one time a battery of guns in the form of a fort was erected on ye side of ye canal in order to make a sham fight between it and ye little fleet. But in ye engagement, a captain who commanded ye snow, coming too near ye battery, received damage from ye wadding of a gun, which occasioned him to spit blood, and so put an end to the battle. The frigate is recorded in numerous landscape paintings during the last century. The cannons were used as mounting blocks both outside the main gates and also on the stable courtyard until they were placed in their current position. We can only presume that the frigate eventually rotted away and was removed. However, a few years ago, Sir Edward found a couple of 2-pound cannonballs in the bed of the lake, no doubt from this frigate. And this, where we are now, what we're in, is called the Temple of the Winds. The Temple of the Winds at West Wycombe Park is a stucco and flint-faced octagonal tower, its main sides facing exactly north-south, east and west. It was erected by Sir Francis Dashwood, 2nd Baronet, in 1759. His main inspiration was undoubtedly the Tower of the Winds located in the Roman Agora in Athens. It is also known as the Hologion and is said to have been built by Andronicus Criothetes in around 50 BC. The original Anthean temple is an octagonal marble clock tower featuring a combination of sundials, water clock, clerestory and wind vane in the form of a tryon. That's tempting, isn't it? And how wicked of them to have it locked like that. Hello? Look how it's built, but that is most interesting, in the words of an enthusiastic German tourist. And this is the still fully constructed ha-ha, and it's still maintained for the purpose of keeping the livestock off the park. Why is it called a ha-ha? There are descriptions of some gentry when they had them built and they see the poor cattle lumbering over the sides trying to get over, that it made them laugh and they went ha-ha. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. And there are the cannons. And up in the sky, a daytime moon. See what I mean about needing a tripod? The more you zoom in, the more steady you need to be with this phone. There's another temple thing over there by the looks of it. But this has piqued my interest, I must admit. Can I walk around the side of this without falling into the ha-ha? Which I wouldn't find very fun. Someone else might go ha-ha, but I damn well would not. And that leads around to somewhere, but I have no idea. And I am not falling in the ha-ha, I'm afraid. That noise is shotguns, if you're wondering. They do have pheasant hunts on and stuff. We can go through the forest and get lost, or we can skirt back round the lake, which is what we're going to do in a minute. Let's take a picture here. Told you it's a big estate, isn't it? Tennis court there. Pretty old one by the looks of it. Quite dilapidated. The long lawn walk. Weather's lovely here today compared to yesterday. It's been quite strange actually. We've had one day here, 2 days of really nice weather, one day of quite bad weather, not appalling but fairly bad. And yeah, today's nice. Tomorrow's meant to be rainy. Staying on for the extra few days, A, at the price I was offered it at, I couldn't have refused. And B, it's been it's given me more chance and time to get stuff done. I think we're fairly much back where we were, I believe. I could be wrong. No, I think I'm wrong. No. Big old lake this. Here's the boathouse. And this, I had a little look just now when I paused a little while ago, is the summer parlour and the Temple of Music. And it is only reachable by boat. So you go where we're going to go now and I'll show you. Oh look, there's a man in a boat there. Here's the house. So yeah, we pretty much covered everything I wanted to cover in 2 parts, so that's not too bad. I'm pleased with that. This old stone bridge here leads onto the island where you get your boat, which will take you over to the Temple of Music / Summer Parlour. My dad would like all this. Who wouldn't really? Eh? Met some nice people while I was up and down here as well. One extremely unpleasant and rude person. First pub I've ever been in that I've got the impression that the landlady really just does not want any customers in there at all. And speaking to locals, I've been told, yeah, it is basically like that. It's a National Trust pub, so it's owned and kept open by the National Trust. She does not give a toss, or have to give a toss, whether there's 1 customer in there or 12. She's an old lady, and she's just rude. That's what people have just said to me, that she's just rude. So yeah. Private, that's the boathouse through there, where you go in there and you catch your boat over to Temple of Music, which is lovely. Very nice, and there's swans there as well. And as we are pretty much back where we were, that pretty much concludes our tour, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all enjoyed this one and found it interesting. Thank you for watching. A wee little extension to our video. On my way out, I noticed the woodland walk, which basically leads off from the main drive that we came along. And look at this. This is where it comes out from. This bridge you can't walk over. It is dangerous. Oh, how charming. Look, I've got muddy shoes for that, but it's okay. This wall here skirts the back of the high street, all the backs of the shops and the inns, including the George and Dragon where I'm staying. At least now I know what the water sound is and where it comes from. That's the dogs that you can hear. General public aren't allowed to bring dogs here unless they're guide dogs. And even then you must let the people know at the front. Obviously in case these hunting dogs are about, I don't know. But yeah, that's probably why you can't bring dogs here. Right, and that takes us back out onto the main driveway. You can actually see the sign through there. Hope you all enjoyed. And thank you for watching.